Well, hello and welcome to this rather creepy looking house full of monster furniture and strange bird people, I suppose. This is Creaks. It's the latest release from Amanita Design, developer of games such as, what was it called now? Pilgrims from last year, and prior to that, games like Machinarium and Chutchel. This is a 2D puzzler, as you can see, released last Friday, yes, for Apple Arcade. Just getting to it now, and I'm really glad that I did because it is super striking and intriguing and just generally good fun. I think straight away most people will be drawn in by the visual design. The world itself is just very off, very strange looking, but highly detailed and full of cool little things to pick out and appreciate. What I think is interesting is it's sort of set against the lead character, who kind of reminds me of, I can't remember his name, but the lead in Ratatouille. You know, the sort of goofy guy with the ginger hair. Obviously this guy does not have ginger hair, he's blonde, but sort of similar vibes coming off him, I feel. So it starts out with him in his office. The world around him starts to violently shake, and he quickly... Oh, hold on. What's happening here then? Goodness me. Yes, as I was saying, the world starts to violently shake, and this appears to be why, some sort of ginormous monster. Oh dear. Yes, let me continue. So, yeah, the sort of light begins to flicker, the office trembles, and he notices that the wallpaper on his back wall has folded over. Quickly he gets up off his chair and he goes to investigate, finds a door to a room with a ladder. As soon as he gets on the ladder, it breaks, more or less forcing him to venture deeper and deeper into whatever lurks below. He finds that underneath his house, unbeknownst to him, is this ginormous mansion. Kind of reminds me of the huge house in What Remains of Edith Finch, in the sense that it looks like something that's been built up over generations without much thought for any health and safety regulations. But who needs those when you have monster furniture to avoid and tables to push around? So yes, the actual puzzling itself might look super familiar. There's a lot of running away from small enemies, triggering things to block them, that sort of thing, pushing tables or boxes around or whatever. But here it's surprisingly satisfying to do so, to the point where I don't really mind the fact that a lot of these puzzles feel familiar, especially because we've seen so many games similar to, I guess, Playdead stuff recently, in Stella, in Little Orpheus. This, out of those recent batch, I think has the more interesting puzzle, certainly. What you're seeing here is probably the first half hour or so, or within the first half hour, but I think you get a good idea of the smart ways in which it constantly builds upon these very basic, very rudimental puzzle ideas in ways that make them both increasingly hard and increasingly satisfying to solve. So a lot of puzzle games, you just kind of have to get the solution and that's it. In this case, you're very much having to get the solution or work out the solution and then implement it. And that's the harder part in a lot of cases. So as you can see here, you might work it out fine and be like, oh, I know how to do this. But then you actually have to outrun the furniture dogs or time your light switch press accordingly. Things soon become surprisingly tense in these moments, let's say. And this is only fairly early on, and I'm already sort of dreading my future encounters with those giant monsters or whatever it is. If it's just a single monster, I don't know. Could be multiple. Could be some sort of Godzilla King of the Monsters style battle-off that I'm stuck in the middle of. Who knows? So yeah, I'm very much enjoying this so far, and I have done with quite a few of the recent Apple Arcade games actually. This already feels like one of the more polished games on the service, and that's something that carries on to its touchscreen controls as well. So when I realised that there would be these timing challenges, I was kind of concerned that the touchscreen controls would get in the way. With a lot of the recent Apple Arcade games, they've not always felt the best to play on touchscreen. I'm thinking specifically about Little Orpheus. I very quickly ditched the touchscreen controls on that and hopped over to controller, whereas on this I'm more than happy to play touchscreen. Another cool thing about this are the collectible paintings that you'll find along the way. I've seen some footage of a few of them, and they seem to be basically cutscenes that you can trigger, and then a rather odd, slightly scary scene will play out, usually with little creatures hidden in the background or little secrets to pick out and notice. Just another nice little addition that adds an extra layer of personality to the overall experience. And that's probably the best thing about this so far, is its personality, that sort of unique look to it, that unique atmosphere, the rather creepy vibes throughout. It's another really strong release from Amanita Design, and another easily recommendable Apple Arcade game if you already do have the service. Thank you very much as always for watching. I've been Cameron, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.